Okay, so the one thing that I just can't understand, well, I mean, I can understand it, but I'm a little bit surprised about Mitch Marner, is his inability to deal with the Toronto media. Now, couple things here. I do understand how difficult it must be. Like, you ever watch the media in Toronto or a Canadian market, but especially Toronto, and you just watch them ramble on? It's almost like they're purposely trying to be unprofessional, or they're purposefully trying to get under somebody's skin, if you understand what I mean. Now, I think that what surprises me about Mitch Marner is that he is incapable of dealing with it. Like, you figure that he would be better prepared for this, but I don't know about you guys, but every time I watch Mitch Marner, like, he always looks like the media always gets under his skin and he's so snippy. But maybe this is just how it is, right? I kind of feel bad for him sometimes. Like, this entire summer must have been difficult, but I think that the Maple Leafs and Mitch Marner need to get this figured out very soon. So he did come right to training camp right away and said, I'm not even talking about my contract. And I think when it comes to some fans, because let's remember, Nylander last year did the exact same thing. Like, he came to camp and was just like, I'm not talking about my contract, guys. Any other questions, blah, blah, blah. I think that when it comes to Mitch Marner, what might turn people off is his tone. Right, the tone that he comes across with is a little bit, what's the word? Smug? I think that's the word that I would use. And I think in that way, it does kind of frustrate people. So I think that would be the difference. Because I saw on X or Twitter, whatever you call it, somebody made that fair point. Well, Nylander did the same thing. And to some degree, you could make the argument that Marner is unfairly targeted. I mean, he's a really good player. I mean, he's a star player. I mean, when you score 90 or close to 100 points, I mean, you're a legit player, right? But, you know, in my opinion, the biggest thing to come out of this article that I was reading is that, I mean, Darren Ferris slipped up a little bit. And this is something that I've been wondering. Like, the Leafs have to pick a lane, and Mitch Marner has to pick a lane. Either they're working on a contract with him, or they're not. And because the Maple Leafs did not move Mitch Marner earlier, they are over a barrel with him. That's just true, right? It's just true. And this is just what it is. But Darren Ferris let it slip that he won't be talking about contract negotiations. So to me, that sounds that they're in some stage of negotiations with the Maple Leafs in a contract, which is pretty interesting news. I honestly think in the next couple of months, we are going to see a Mitch Marner contract. So I want you guys to drop it in the comments. How would you feel about that? If you're a Leaf fan, drop comments. I would love to see it if it is a good value. I think that a lot of, I mean, it's a good value. We know it probably won't be. But I think that a lot of people completely underrate how good he is, although he hasn't gotten it together in the playoffs. And if you want to trade him, which is fine, what would you trade him for, right? At the end of the day, when it comes to Mitch Marner, it's very simple. You can win back every fan, well, not every fan, but almost every fan in this franchise if you just do one thing. Take a decent deal, sign on 8 years to a respectable contract, and just call it a day, right? Don't run around like a meatball in the media. Don't do the, oh, I'm going to the KHL. I mean, it is what it is. Like, to some degree, I kind of feel bad for Toronto guys like Mitch Marner, and especially Toronto guys that definitely wear it on their, they wear their heart on their sleeves, right? I wish to this point it would have worked out a little bit better with Mitch, but it's not over. These guys are still in their late 20s. The Leafs are still a very talented team. Their blue line is better. Their center depth scares me, but I think they're going to have a pretty good season. I still think they're going to be a monster in the Atlantic. I don't know about you guys, but I still think they're going to be right there. I think Florida's probably going to win the division, but that's just me. And I think that this is the year where Mitch Marner will score 100 points, although he has never technically scored 100 points. Yes, I know, but I think this is the year. But I am going to be very interested to see what this contract will be. If he takes around what Nylander took on 8 years, honestly, that's actually not that bad. And he would really endear himself to a portion of the fan base that really are not the biggest fans of Mitch Marner. I truly do think that a lot of what's happened with these guys is they have just put the team over a barrel and taken every penny. When you see other franchises, and I understand in some ways this is different, but you see the Lucas Raymond, like $8 million for Lucas Raymond. Like, I don't think Lucas Raymond is as good as Mitch Marner, but like $8 million is pretty good, especially on 8 years. Like, I think that's a really great contract for the Red Wings. And you got Mitch Marner and these guys, they're just running around. They just won't sign 8 years. They just won't, they say they want to be here, but they don't really. I mean, they show it, but they don't show it to the level that a lot of fans want. Because, listen, hockey fans, we love our teams. We love our teams. It just is what it is. Some of the most passionate fans in the league. There's no doubt about that. Anyways, I am going to leave this video there. As usual, tell me why I'm wrong and tell me why I'm right as well. And have a great day, guys. Bye.